Hey, you guys, I'm here in Houston for our balance, stretch, and strengthen class, which will be seen by you anytime next week, the week of the 21st. This would be our normal Thursday class, being Zoomed with you at 10 o'clock on Thursday, the 24th. But anyways, I'm going to do this pre-recorded because on that day I won't be available. So hopefully you guys will check this out, okay? And it's going to be a little weird because I'm also going to be doing my morning class with Evolve Strong at the same time, but I'm going to turn that on now. So if it seems a little weird, that's why. But we're still going to focus on balance, stretch, and strengthen. We'll use a chair, we'll use a wall, okay? All right, thanks you guys. So good morning. We're going to go ahead and we'll get started. And today I'm recording this from Houston at my daughter. So you might see some elder dogs walking back and forth as we go through our class today. We are going to focus today on balance, stretch, and strengthening, which are three of the components anyways in our yoga program. We're going to do this using a chair and using a wall. So if you have those available, great. If not, just make those modifications that you need to do that. And it's just some, really good ideas to work with a chair, all right? So hold on just a second. All right, so let's go ahead and begin in that chair for some stretching, right? Okay, again, those key components are balance, stretch, and strengthen. So sitting in that chair, maybe having a little bit cushioned, having no wheels on it, having no arms, so that we have that movement and that flexibility, like this elder dog, which just keeps on going. About a month or so ago, that wasn't quite going to be with us, but he's still moving. So, all right, let's go ahead and take our arms up, inhale. And exhale, take it down and stretch through your fingers as we do this. Okay, I'm going to come over a little bit so you can see me maybe a little bit more. Lift and lengthen, inhale, look. Exhale, take those hands down and chin to chest. Okay, let's start getting into the stretching of our neck. And we're working with breath here, okay? As we rise up, we inhale. To come down, we exhale. And using the chair is really a nice tool, especially for those that are seated in that chair a lot. Because then oh, there's a lot of movement I could do in that chair. I can work with my posture when I'm in that chair. I can work with strengthening when I'm in that chair. Let's go ahead and lift up and lengthen here. And then let's come on over. Take your hand to the front side of the chair and that leg. Lengthen here first. Press in and take yourself over. Exhale. Bring yourself up. Inhale. Lengthen. And exhale. Take this hand down. Press in. Lift up. And this pressing in and down will not only help to stretch, but it also, that pressure against that leg will help to strengthen your stretch and strengthen that side of your body. Come on up, exhale down. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale, lift, press in, come on over. Lengthen up. Take it on down, exhale. Rising up. Press in, stretch. Let's take it over again, this side. And now let's go ahead and lift. And let's hold. Not hold our breath, okay, but hold the position. Press in, lengthen side. Maybe take that upper shoulder back just a bit. as I do, maybe I feel myself shifting downward a little bit more as I open up a little bit more here. And then lift up, inhale. Take this hand down one more time on this side with a hold, lengthen. Press and slide. Maybe upper shoulder back. And again, this hand here can give you a little leverage to help come into that bit of a twist as we let our hearts up and take them and shift them over just a bit, keeping your arm lengthened here. And bring yourself up. Take that arm down. Let's take some shoulder stretches here. Again, our 3 elements today we're really going to focus on is stretching and strengthening and balance. All right. And now take your arms forward and bend into the elbows and take them out, okay, so that we are in cactus arms. So here we're going to really pull back, squeeze into those shoulders, open and stretch the heart, and then bringing the elbows forward, keep them at your height of your shoulders, press those hands together, and just let your chin come down. And now let your shoulders come down, taking that in steps, rounding, bringing the elbows up, and release and open. And let's take our elbows forward and bring them down. 2 more, please. Press those hands together. Bring yourselves together. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Yes, start to open up through the heart center. And let's go ahead and just bring it on down. Keep your chin to your chest, pull the elbows down, let your hands slide to your thighs. Press down and towards your knees. And let's do cat-cow here 4 times. Getting into the spine, exhale, pulling down. Bring yourself up. And take yourself on down. And 2 more, please. Good. And now just still seated, where we don't have to worry about balance at all. We're going to go ahead and practice the alignment more or less for eagle pose. And then we're going to do eagle with the chair. And then those that are brave enough or safe enough and feel that they can do eagle without any needed chair or wall, you're welcome to do that too, but we will work on that as one of our peak poses today. Okay, this is Nina. She's 15 plus years old. She's doing pretty good. Aren't you, Nina? Very food oriented. So taking 1 foot over, taking the other one over. I'm going to have my legs kind of squeezing together here. Okay. Now, when you're doing eagle and you're standing, so you're just going to be standing on 1 foot. Don't worry about that right now because we have 5 feet, right? We've got the 4 on the chair. So what we're going to focus on is our alignment. When we stand up, we're going to focus on alignment, but we're going to use that chair. And then we're going to see about how would that feel to not have that chair. All right, let's go ahead. If you can and have the flexibility, you take this front ankle and you wrap it around. And some of us may not even be doing this. Maybe you're lowering your leg and just crossing at the ankle. That's all right. Squeeze those legs together for strengthening, okay? And again, when we're working on balance, one of the key sayings is the tighter your body is, the lighter it can be. That means we really tighten that side that's balancing us. And then we are able to lighten the rest of it. Let's raise our arms up, inhale. And now go ahead, exhale. Let's take our, I've got my right leg on top. So I'm gonna take my right arm under. I'm gonna go ahead and cross either here, all right, or I start to work my forearms together and my hands together. Pull down on my shoulders. All right, let's just hold this for a moment. Press your arms together. Squeeze those legs together. Let your shoulders pull down. Squeeze everything internally, okay? Just squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. And again, tighten that body, right? All the way to the core. Squeeze a little more. This is isometric toning here. Squeeze everything together. Take a big inhale. And then exhale. Release. Release that top leg. Release your arms. Inhale, lift here. And exhale, float those eagle arms down. And now I'm going to take the other foot in, cross my left leg. And again, it looks reversed sometimes, depending on how you guys are viewing it. And then, or I cross here, or I take it and I cross doubly. And I sit up and I just try to line things up as best as I can in the seated position. And I go ahead and lift my arms up. And then I'm going to take my left arm under my right, so my left leg is on top, okay? And I want to have my elbows right above my knees, okay? So we'll work on that alignment here, seated, and then we're going to work on that alignment standing. Let's go ahead, just raise those elbows up a little bit more to get in a little bit more of the stretching and the strengthening. Start to squeeze now. Squeeze those arms together. Squeeze your legs together and keep breathing. As you pull the shoulders down, you get that isometric contraction going on, right? So everything that's touching the other part of your body, one side to the other, takes a little bit more oomph there. Put it into action. Squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. Big inhale. Exhale. Ooh, releasing your arms, releasing your legs. Find your arms floating up. Inhale. And exhale it down. Now let's go ahead and do that, but we're going to do a bowing eagle pose. Still seated. We're going to get up pretty soon. Go ahead and bring one foot over and the other one crosses. And again, maybe a double crosses, okay? You guys work to what feels right for you. Lift up, inhale. Same arm as the leg that's on top goes under, exhale. Find length here, look up. And exhale, bow it down so that your elbows come towards your navel. Shoulders pull down, squeezing still, you guys, squeeze. Inhale, lift. 3 more times, exhale, pull down and squeeze. Lift and lengthen. And release it down. Bring it on up. Squeeze those legs together, squeeze those arms together. Last one here. Rise on up. Exhale, releasing those arms again, releasing your legs. Open up, inhale. Exhale. Let's do that other side, and we're going to be preparing to lift ourselves off the ground, okay? So we're off the chair. So crossing, maybe double crossing or cross down here. Just squeeze it all together wherever you are, okay? Go ahead and lift, inhale. And then exhale, top leg, that arm goes under and I find my cross, maybe my double cross, right? And I lift, elbows up, shoulder height, and then lift a little more. Looking here, stretching into the neck, inhale, keep squeezing, exhale, curl and tuck, round, getting into some stretching and opening of the spine here, squeeze for strength, rise on up, inhale, exhale it down, Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. And exhale it down. Rise and shine. Bring it on down. Take it on up. Releasing arms. Whew. Release those legs. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Good. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and start to work our way out of that chair. We're going to work our way out of that chair and onto our feet. But please keep the chair available, keep the wall available, since we're going to keep using that as one of our tools. Because I don't know where you all are in your balance, but you do, okay? And it's real important to know that. Know that from your feet or your hands or whatever part of your body are connected to hold you to the earth. And then you need to know where that part of your body is. It's keeping you connected to space. And you need to know where that kinetic chain is. Remember, we talked about that. Our feet, okay, lining up with everything as if we were seated in a mountain pose or standing in a mountain pose, right? Everything in alignment, including our heads, right? So to pull my head back, keep my earlobes over my trapezius there, because this weighs 10 pounds. If I'm always like this, I'm going to be feeling my center of gravity coming forward rather than situated, everything stacked one on top of the other, okay? But for now, go ahead and take your feet apart and find yourself with toes out, heels in, because we're going to start rising up. So taking hands, first of all, let's get a little stretch into a twist going here. Let's slide one hand down and the other one up towards my hip, looking up here, and bring myself up. Inhale. And exhale, slide one arm down, the other one lifts up. And let's bring ourselves back. Do that a few more times, working with breath and movement. This is a great one to do for those of you that seated in a chair, and all day long you feel like you're a captive prisoner in that chair. Can you get some movement in? This one is really nice, opening, stretching for the side body. This one is really good for lengthening into waist. And now let's take it and lengthen into our arm. And I'm working with breath. Exhale. As I come towards the earth, inhale as I lift. Let's do 2 more sets. Good. And then bringing ourselves up. All right, hands on my thighs. And if you're just coming in, remember that we are working today with chair and wall, and we're working on balance, stretch, and strengthen. Hands on your thighs. Take your body weight forward. Lift yourself out of the chair. Now, when we are doing goddess pose, for instance, a lot of us have ourselves tilted forward. So I want you to sit yourself back in the chair. I want you to see what that feels like to have that spine nice and straight. And do tilt forward, but when you take weight to your feet, I want you to bring the weight of your spine back, okay? So I'm forward, stretching out, pressing weight into my feet, stand and bring that spine back so that my torso is perpendicular to the ground, okay? And I'm just going to stay here a moment while I work on that strengthening. What am I strengthening? My legs, big muscles. The glutes, big muscles. As I work to keep my spine upright, I'm working on my spinal muscles and core, right? Core always. So from here, let's go ahead and just take a few little pulses, waking up those legs that have been seated in the chair, okay? And at work, can you be typing on your computer? Can you be kind of zooming with the video off and get up out of your chair and do a few little squats, a few little bounces here, right? Good. Now I'm going to straighten my legs. Still keeping them apart, still keeping toes out, heels in. Got another little dog coming into the scene. You guys will notice I am not at home with my big dogs. I'm here with my daughter's aged dogs. And so let's go ahead on back down into that squat. And I want to look again at alignment. So take the toes out, heels in, and feet should be far enough out that your knees and your ankles are in alignment, okay? And we're trying to keep those knees back because generally our knees want to go in like this, and that takes away from a lot of the strengthening. So we want to bring them back, and that takes a lot more strengthening in our glutes and in our thighs, okay? So maybe keeping your hands here for a bit and just pressing inward with your hands. That will keep your knees. Hi, Buddha. That will keep your knees open. Let's do that. And sit maybe a little bit lower here, okay? Still breathing, oh yeah. If you need to come out, please do. You guys know your body, right? Let's go ahead, lift up slowly our legs like that. And I don't know about you, but I'm feeling that. So let's go ahead here and just do some circles with our hips. You don't need to move your feet. When and if you do move your feet, you're going to notice there's a different range of motion in those hips. So if my feet were pointed forward and they were in, my legs were in a little bit more and I bent into my knees, I might get more range of motion, but this range is good, okay? To give us a little bit of lubrication in those hips. Let's go in the opposite direction. Again, maybe a different setup for some of us, having the chair and the wall, but they are really good tools. And again, working on those balances. All right, let's go ahead and bend into your knees again. Let's work on those alignment pieces and just check things out. Do I need to move my feet so I'm better in alignment here? Hands are going to be here, and I'm going to shift now so that this knee actually is going to bypass the ankle. I lengthen the other foot. I work on that torso. Instead of bringing it forward, bring it back. So I can try to maintain that more centered piece and plane. Come back here. And then I'm going to take and shoot a little more bend here. A little bit out of the picture, but I think you guys got the picture. And come back into center. Let's do that 2 more times. Lengthen one side, leaning. When my body leans this way a little bit, I can still bring it back up, right? Or you can lean it over and you can get into a stretch. So there's a lot of things we can work on. If we're working on keeping our body here, we might be working more into keeping things more in alignment. Right here, go ahead and bend into this knee. All right, I know I'm out of the view there, but you guys know, bend the knee. It may go past that ankle. The more I get a little deeper, right? It's gonna go past it. Body stays here, or if you feel like you take that center of gravity over. We're not really doing that right now, but you can always do whatever feels good to you, okay? And then bring myself back up. I'm gonna do that one more time. Come on over here. Sinking low, working on maintaining my torso this way, right? That's kind of the key right now, rather than leaning into it. And one more time here. Good. Breathe it on up. And from here, let's go ahead and do some goddess, right? So again, have that distance between your feet that are going to keep yourself aligned. And we'll squat into this. Let those knees pull back, feeling the work we need to do for that. Arms rise up, come into goddess. And then lengthen your legs, lift on up, inhale. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. Buddha, you're right there, yeah. Come on up and let me move here so the dog can have his space. Poor guy. No, he's not a poor guy, he's a warrior, that's what he is. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale, lift, and exhale. That's one thing I've learned from my daughter, is devotion, right? Devotion to those things, those beings that are so important to us, and that we don't say, oh, poor baby, right? Inhale, lift. Exhale, take it down. Rise up, inhale. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale up, exhale, take it on down slowly here. Good. And now just to, again, take our bodies off center. We're going to take our arms and practice that eagle arms. Okay, so I'm going right under left, doesn't matter, just remember which one. Come into our goddess squat. And now I want you to just move your center of gravity wherever it feels like going. When we tilt our heads, we're getting into that vestibular system of the inner ear. When we shift our body weight, right, whatever pressure we're feeling on our feet. Connected to the ground, shifting the heavier part of our body all around. Bring it down. Bring that torso back and bring yourself up, inhale. And then exhale, let's do that opposite arm under. Come into your squat. And we're building strength here as you go ahead and move, getting to know where your center of gravity is, because we're about to challenge that a little bit more. So this is really good for what? Strengthening our legs, because we're sitting in this kind of squatted position. This is good for stretching and for knowing our balance points. Bring yourself up, straighten those legs. And exhale your arms down and up. And exhale down. Good. And now we're going to work in and out of some of our, we're going to use that chair again, but I'm going to move it out of the way for now. I'm going to grab a little drink here. So we're going to move in and out of things that we find really stabilizing, like our warriors, right? Warriors seem really stabilizing, but we're going to kind of shift that so that the warriors will cause us, and there goes Flora, that's the third of them. These dogs, 15 years ago, were shipped from Brazil to here by my daughter. So much she started to spend on and love them right at the beginning. Let's go ahead and start in five-pointed star, which is really a balanced place. Our feet are parallel to one another instead of toes out and heels in. I'm going to lift here, so I'm really long, right? so that all of this part of my body at least is in alignment. Yes, my legs are out, but they're still in a really balanced place. And for now, let's just shift body weight this way with head. Shift it. Ooh, let your head go. Feel the difference there. Come on over. Someone's pulling that side of your body. Bring it over. Inhale and exhale. Mode. Inhale, lift. Exhale. So one thing it's taught me, I catch myself sometimes. So as this is saying, oh, poor doggy. I say, wow, look at that warrior dog. Look at how strong he is, how he continues to put one paw in front of the other. Even though he's a little bit off balance, a little leaning, he's still doing it. All right, let's go ahead and take one foot out, right? We're gonna stay with straight legs first so that we are going to be in more of a triangle position. And I'm gonna lean my body one way here. And I'm going to bring it back. Now, just moving one foot does change a little bit of our balance, right? Because now our feet aren't parallel to one another. But now let's go this way. And I want you to come onto the ball of this back foot. Let your body come over. Feel that, how that challenges the balance a little bit. And then take this arm down and over across your body. This one here. Maybe you just keep this arm down because crossing here is another bit of the challenge. I'm high in the ball of that back foot, this foot. And then I lift myself up, plant that foot down, okay? So this is the foot, the toes are forward. This is the one, the toes are out. I'm gonna pull myself in this direction now towards that back leg. Lift onto the ball of that front foot. Really let myself come over. Feel that connection of the ball of my foot, maybe my toes onto the ground there. If you want to shift a little bit more, take one arm up and over. Maybe this one crosses over too, and you start to open up and unwind maybe heart towards the ceiling. You're challenging your balance by shifting all of that body weight and not being flat-footed. Okay? And as we challenge our balance, we strengthen our bodies. Go ahead and take those arms and bring them back as you flatten that foot. Take that foot forward, back into five-pointed star. Let's take our hands on our hips and take a flat spine here. Open up the back sides of your legs. Take a couple breaths. Bend into your knees a little bit. Just start a crack in mind. Take your hands to the ground and let your heavy head go. Only if this is safe and good for you. Should feel really balanced, but taking our heads down really changes again the flow of that inner ear fluid. So that's why if we come out of here too quickly, we're gonna feel dizzy, some of us. So please take this slowly out, and we're gonna do that by slowly lengthening our legs, coming into Ragdoll, top body, staying there as our legs lengthen, hands down, chin to chest. That's why it's hard for me to speak right now. Slowly lifting one vertebrae at a time and slowly lifting my chin level, making sure that my head is on straight. Okay, arms are here. Let's go ahead and do the other side now. So our arms open up. The opposite foot now turns out, okay? So you've got your setup here, and we're gonna challenge the balance in this triangle. First, come over one side. Both feet are flat. Bring it up, take yourself over. And bring it up. And this foot I'm noticing wasn't quite forward, so I need to shift it a bit. All right, and then let's go ahead, come over, come onto the ball of this back foot. Notice the change and the shift of our body weight by doing that. So shifting over, arm might lift, other one might come down. Maybe this one bypasses, coming straight up and brings bicep by your ear. Maybe this one comes over, another challenge to do that. So little by little, we work on what feels right for us in terms of stability, right? Really pushing energy into our feet. Taking arms slowly, unwrapping, bringing that foot down. So if I went quickly out of that, that may take me into kind of a spin. So when I do it slowly, and again, using that energy in my arms, tightening them up to keep me light so I can come back to here. And now I'm going to come up to the ball of this foot, right? So I'm going to shift weight over, come to the ball of this standing leg here, right? Really bring myself over. Feel that and feel the challenge now, a little bit of my balance rather than just being in a regular triangle pose. And I'm going to take one arm down and the other one up. Shift this weight upward, shift this weight downward. Flat foot here, ball of the foot there, lengthen, good stretch here. And then if you want to challenge yourself a little more, you start to cross those arms. One bicep by the ear, the other one reaches out towards that foot where you've got balance on the ball of that foot. And we're breathing. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then taking arms slowly back, drop that foot flat. Oof. Both feet forward, hands on your hips. Let's take that forward fold, but first just a flat spine. Okay. Here we are just thinking about and acting on having the crown move forward. My tailbone back, bend into your knees, soften them, and let your hands come to the ground and let your head follow. And breathe. Straightening those legs if you'd like for some more lengthening there. You don't want to take your head all the way down, please don't. You can have a chair in front of you and just take your hands to the chair and the head slightly down. And then we rise up. Let's come into flat spine here, slowly lifting up again. And taking hands down. Good. All right, now let's take it into a different sense of off-balancing us. So today's all about how can I take myself out of something that I'm used to and more comfortable with and feel very stable and balanced to not being that way. So I'm going to go ahead and open up this foot, but I'm going to bend into the knee, and I'm going to have to take my feet a little farther apart so that this knee and ankle are in good alignment. And we still are going to come back to our eagle and work on that too. Did some of that at the beginning in the chair so we could get our alignment going. And now we're going to do some with chair for alignment, but standing. And then we'll work on getting out of that chair or getting the chair away if you're ready for that. All right, so warrior two. Generally, we feel like, oh yeah, this is really stable, right? I don't have to balance here. But we're going to come off, and some of you might not see that, but I'm going to rise onto the ball of this leg, the back leg, right? But I don't want to take that knee past my ankle. I want to just rise up, okay, not forward, right? So keeping that knee there, but taking my weight now with my upper body over, really high in the ball or the toes of this back foot. Only if you feel like you have that balance to shift your arms. Go and take one arm down and one arm up. Bring yourself back. Good. Sorry, just with my way I've got things set up, I'm a little not always in the picture. Go ahead and lengthen this leg. Turn the toes forward. Now, instead of doing a forward fold in our transition, and I'm going to move this back just a bit, maybe you'll be able to see me a little bit more. We're going to do, we did 2 forward folds, but now I want us to work on heart opening. So again, toes are all forward, interlace behind you. Press down, squeeze shoulders, okay? Let your hips come forward. Let your heart rise up. Good stretch into our hamstrings, into our full chest area. And then rise up and down. Ooh. And there's some off balancing of that too. That big heavy head pulls back, right? We're not in that kinetic chain. So that makes a big difference. All right, so now let's go ahead and do the other side. Arms are out. This other leg, toes turn. And I come into that distance that I need to set up a good warrior 2 stance, okay? Arms are strong. Remember, the tighter our bodies are, the lighter they can be. Now I'm going to come onto the ball of this foot. Rising up here. Feeling that. And at once I feel like, okay, I'm stable. I can do that even on my big toe or wherever you are. Then go ahead and shift the torso weight over. One arm up, the other one down, spreading those fingers. Oof. Finding stability in a place that sometimes doesn't call us to be stable. High, high, high. On that foot. And then bring yourself up. Place that foot down. Oof. Lengthen your leg. All toes forward. This time hands just on your hips. Pressing downward. Squeezing elbows together and shoulders together. And opening up. Open up for a new day here. Open up for a new way, maybe. A new way of greeting the world. Greeting one another. And bring yourself up and down. Slowly rising. And exhale. All right, we're going to do warrior 2 again, but this time we're going to be shifting on a different foot. All right, this last time it was the back foot. Now we're going to shift onto that front foot. Let's see which you feel might be a little bit more stabilizing, which one is a little more, I got to work on that. So I'm going to go ahead and come back into warrior 2, feeling really strong here. Arms are separated out and taking that length that I can, taking the depth that I can here. Now, last time we went with that back foot. Now I want you to come to the ball of the front foot, okay? Still keeping knee and ankle in alignment. Coming to the ball of that foot here. And let's go ahead, take our weight this way, backwards, and take our arm up into reverse warrior. Real high on the ball of that front foot, shifting. Then if you really want to challenge yourself, you start to take that gaze upward. You guys do it piece by piece, right? To what you are able to do in a safe, good, strengthening, stable way. Slowly let the foot come down. Let your arms come up. Straighten that leg, all toes forward. Hands on your hips. And this time, let's go ahead, bend into the knees. Take your hands behind you and squeeze here and open up. And then let us come on forward. So we're going to incorporate that forward fold, exhale. Ooh. With rise up slowly with a nice opening here in our hearts. And one more time, take it on down. Exhale. Bring it on up. Lengthen those legs. Release your arms. Whew. Take your arms out. Take the other foot in that opposite direction. Keeping this foot toes forward, bending into my knee. Finding that distance that gives me the depth to be able to keep this knee above that ankle. Because this is where I'm going to now shift. Knee stays still above the ankle, but I come onto the ball of that foot. All right, strengthening here, you guys. Arms extended. Stay right there, okay? Or maybe you're working on something like this, where my heel comes down and then I bring it up because I need to work on that balance and my strengthening too. Or maybe you're ready to pull yourself back into the past and take one arm up, one arm down, one arm over, one arm this way. Really challenging the balance, still staying high on the ball of that foot. Maybe taking a look up. Breathing out. Arms come out slowly, foot comes down. Find my warrior two. Lengthen my leg. Bring myself back. Let's go ahead and take a little bit of straight standing balance work here. And all I want you to do is kind of loosen up a bit. Ooh, loosen up by taking a little marching. Let's go back. Good. Let's take some circles here with our legs closer together than where they were earlier when we were doing that more in the goddess open legs position. Now let's go around that way. Should feel pretty stable, even though we're really moving a big part of our center of gravity here. All right, so let's go ahead and work, like I said we would, on that goddess pose, our peak pose today. Sorry, not goddess, but eagle. And taking a chair that's really stable here and keeping my hands on it. I'm going to go ahead and work on that bottom part of my goddess pose, my eagle pose. So one foot in and the other one crosses as I bend, okay? As you do, okay, you're not in a figure four, but maybe if that feels more comfortable to you, you start off that way with ankle by knee. Otherwise, you come into that eagle where I take my thighs together and I come down a little bit more maybe. And maybe this is where I'm going to work on trying to tuck that foot in. But notice when I did, my knees went outward. I want to bring them back towards the chair, okay? So that standing foot is towards the chair. My knees are towards the chair. I'm going to lower a little bit more. Notice maybe you can come deeper into it than when you don't have that chair, right? Oh yeah, this is a strengthening one for sure. My legs are crying out to me right now. You can practice one or two hands removing from that chair. Oh, lengthen your legs. Walk them out. And let's take ourselves for a walk back so that I'm going to have my tailbone back and my hands forward. And part of me is out of the picture, but Buddha's in the picture, aren't you, Buddha? Yes, a Buddha. And just stretching here, stretching legs out. And then let's do the opposite leg on top. So bringing that chair back, finding myself for standing in mountain pose. So I'm going to bend into both knees, take the opposite foot over. Remember, you can just do this in figure four if you're feeling like that is all you want to do today. That's a lot. It's not like all, okay? It's a lot still. Or you can go ahead and cross over and take that foot behind, maybe. Noticing my knees went out, I'm gonna correct them. Bring them back. So eagle is all about joints. It's about our urogenital system too, because when we're here with our legs crossed, we're kind of squeezing in to our organs. And we're lowering a little bit more, keeping the hips forward, keeping my knees forward, right? Hands on that chair for stability. I'm only on one foot and lightly on that chair. Maybe I lift my arms up. Okay. But we're working on alignment. If you had your arms all the way in eagle pose, you would be so much working with that balance that our legs are not going to be in alignment. This is how it feels, or is supposed to feel. Knees forward, a low position of the body, and then you would work with the arms, okay, like we did earlier in the chair. All right, come ahead. Woo, release out of that. That's a lot. So to do that full expression of eagle pose, some of you might want to do that now. Some of you want to repeat what we just did. Some of you are ready to go back in the chair and do eagle seated, all right? So whichever that is, we did it seated. We just did it with the support of the chair. Maybe you want to just do the arms now, or you want to incorporate both, okay? So do what feels right for you. And if you're incorporating both or just doing the arms, we'll do those first. So squat down a bit, come on up, inhale. And then exhale, let's take one arm under the other. Remember which one that is because we switch next time, okay? Here are eagle arms. Maybe you want to just go inhale, lift. Exhale, bend into knees and forward fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. You can keep doing that, move to any of the others. Or I'm going to, my right arm is under my other one. So I'm going to take my left foot in. I'm going to prepare to start to lift that right foot off. I might not be able to do this very long if the dog gets closer. And then I'm going to cross, maybe double cross. But notice when I want to double cross, ooh, my knees go over. I want to keep them forward. So I'm not going to double cross this time. I've got that kickstand. My toe going down, especially with the dog behind me. Certainly don't want to crash into him. And then I try to lower and bring my back, all right? Bring my back, because that is what we're trying to get to with eagle. Straight spine, low down. Keep working on those things. And that, go ahead and release. Doing it this way may make you think, oh, but I can't do what I did before, because what you were doing before, like myself, might not have had good alignment, okay? So we have to kind of maybe take some steps back, maybe step back so that when we're ready, we take that giant step forward. Let's go and do the other side. Bend into your knees. This time I'm taking my left under my right. Go ahead and do that, or whichever other side you didn't do. Lengthen up and exhale, pull it down. Just warming up here. And exhale it down. Good. Bring yourself up. And then bend into your knees. Just stay here if you like, okay? Or you start to lift the opposite foot off the ground. Sometimes check which one was that. And this could be your prep for eagle. Pulling your spine back, taking that leg across, maybe taking hands on the chair by now, taking those knees forward, hips forward, squatting down lower, taking my spine back. I might not be able to double cross and keep all those alignment pieces in good standing. So I'm not going to cross today. I'll lower a little bit more, pull my spine back. Yeah. Point my toes down though, for when I'm ready to cross. Bring myself up and release here. Whew. Peak pose for the day, our eagle pose. If you actually take it, don't need it, we're just going to take a few here at the end, up and down the balls of our feet. When you're doing dishes, when you're at a counter, you can just come up and down, and that's going to strengthen your balance, especially if you are working with taking hands away from that chair, keeping everything in alignment here. Good. And let's just open up gently into our hip here in the last couple minutes. Lift it up, take it out, swing it back and forth. Toes can point or they can flex. So thanks for trying something different today, using that chair or a wall for our balance and for alignment purposes. I'll hand you the other side. Lift, and let's just open and close. And some of you might want to just hold on there, or assist with a little bit of a weight there and weight here, or we're holding and guiding, or we're not holding at all. So many options. Please take your choice, right? You guys like it. Maybe some of you don't. I know sometimes it's a little too much for me to go someplace that has this huge menu of options, right? It's like, maybe I just want a little menu, right? So, but just know that this is your body and you should be making the decisions that are right for you, okay? So thank you for joining today. I'm filming this on a Friday instead of a Thursday. And for those of you that are watching via Facebook, I will be here on Monday morning, still here in Houston, not on Tuesday because I'll be driving back. For those of you that are Zooming with Vessel Health, this will be available to you come Monday all the way through next week. And Viola will be subbing for us on Tuesday for that chair class. I'll be back on Wednesday. But again, Facebook Evolve Strong Community, I'll be back on Monday, still here in Houston, but instead of Tuesday morning. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Anyways, hands at heart center, find your beauty of that kinetic chain that keeps us so balanced. Find the beauty of your breath that keeps you so balanced. Find the beauty of your heart that keeps you balanced and in harmony with others. And from my harmonic heart to yours, namaste. Thank you all very much. Hey, you guys out there in Zoom land, my Vessel Health community. That was kind of weird because I was making sure I got this in to Denise in time today, Friday, so that you guys can see it next week. And I was trying to do my Evolve Strong Facebook at the same time. It seemed to work. And so I hope it was good for you and didn't take you any farther, or you didn't take yourself any farther or further than you needed to. So again, just the strengthening, stretching, and balancing are so vital for us. I know yesterday in the airport, Mark kind of tripped a little bit a couple times. His shoe was getting stuck on the surface. And so he caught himself right away. But it's just, you never know, right? And that idea of catching yourself right away is about our awareness of our body. It's about our balance. It's about our strength. It's about awareness, right? And attention. And remember that attention is affection. So I am sending my attention and my affection to you via Zoom. Hope you're able to watch this. I will communicate with you of that change. And thank you guys. Take care. Bye.